to take me 3 hours to get to sleep every single night. Now it takes me more like 30 minutes. Here's what I did. So I started to research online. I kept looking into different sleep experts. I watched podcasts from people like Andrew Huberman. He has a lot of stuff on perfecting sleep and all of that. I looked into alcohol, red wine, hours and hours and hours, tens of hours of content. I'm just searching through, skimming through. How can I go to sleep faster? I look into different smaller people who aren't as scientific. They talk about these things that help them fall asleep and calm down. I look into playing Minecraft music. There's stuff about like laying on the floor without a pillow. Like there was stuff about like lowering your heart rate, certain breathing practices, and these are the three things that I found helped the most. So if I struggle to go to sleep one night, I have these practices to always come back to, and I just love that. The first secret that I found was to just set your bedtime for life. I used to like cringe at the word bedtime. I don't know if it's some stigma, but I think because of the years of brainwashing, like from the media and stuff, or I don't know what it is, but there's just this stigma about having a bedtime. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's from the shows or whatever, right? It just seems weird. A bedtime? I don't need a bedtime. And back in the day, like I would literally say that my bedtime was 8 o'clock, and I would miss it every single night because my ego was just constantly blocking me from being like, you know what, bro? Could I go to sleep at 8 o'clock every single day for the rest of my life? Probably not, right? Probably not. I think right now my bedtime's like 11. I want to shift it back to about 10, so that's my goal. But yeah, last night I went to sleep about 11, and you just want to pick a bedtime that you could genuinely stick to for the rest of your life. And whatever that is going to be different for different people. Like, it depends on how sociable you are. It depends on your like sleep chronotype, which we don't have to get into, but basically like some people like to stay up late while some people like to wake up early. It depends on that. It depends on a lot of things. But what bedtime could you specifically stick to for the rest of your life? And don't just say 10 p.m. because that's what everybody else is saying. Because that's what like you're supposed to say. Just say the bedtime that you could actually stick to, bro. Right now, I want to get back to about 10 o'clock. And I'm going to do that for a few months. And then I'm going to shift to 12 o'clock. Sometime in March next year. That's my plan right now. So, right now I'm at 11 o'clock. And I want to go back to 10 o'clock. Wake up at 6:30 again. And then come March, I want to start having 6 hours of sleep when my medical conditions start to clear off a bit. But that's my plan right now. But it's going to be very generalized to you, you know? Like, you might be an incredible morning person and you can just go to sleep at 8 o'clock every night and you don't really care about social events. Or you could be the opposite. You could be like, you just love staying up late with your friends. So for you, it might be more like 1 a.m. It doesn't matter if it's 1 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. Right? It really doesn't matter. The point is you just stick to it. Honestly, if you want to make your bedtime 4 a.m., bro, obviously that's not fantastic, but if you want to make your bedtime 4 a.m., bro, then make it 4 a.m. Just make sure that you've got a bedtime. Otherwise, your life is just a bit chaotic and you'll struggle to fall asleep. Honestly, if you want to go to sleep at 4 a.m. every single night and you want that to be your bedtime, just stick to 4 a.m. then. Like, don't make excuses like, oh, I can't set a bedtime because blah, 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 blah. Just set one, bro. What could you genuinely do tonight and tomorrow night and every single day for the rest of your life? Even on your worst days. That's really helped me. I think a bedtime I could genuinely stick to is 12 o'clock, right? It doesn't matter what social events I'm going to, I can always do 12 o'clock, right? I can always get to bed by 12 o'clock. That's my bedtime for life. There are reasons why it's not 12 o'clock right now in my life, but I think 12 o'clock is a bedtime I could genuinely stick to for the rest of my life. And like, I've looked heavily into sleep, right? Like some people will laugh like, oh, 12 o'clock. Oh, that's not very good, bro. Or you should be waking up at like 2 a.m., bro. But like, seriously, man, I think I could genuinely go to sleep at 12 o'clock every single night. Yeah, but do you think we'll cut this bit out or what? Anyway, okay, bedtime for life. Anyway, I've already wrapped up that by now. But anyway, um, this next one, it was so quick, and I didn't even think it would work when I first tried it. But as I was looking online, I found a guy named Matt Walker. He's a sleep scientist, and I listened to his podcast, and I binged him. Honestly, I binged that flipping podcast. There's like 50 episodes. Honestly, I was so, I don't know. Back in August, I was doing this, and I just hour after hour after hour. I just couldn't get enough, bro. That's this kind of guy I am. But I just kept watching and watching. And one of the greatest pieces of advice I had, that I literally say in almost every sleep video I make, is warm socks in bed. Just put on some socks in bed. The reason I say this is because it genuinely works, and it works like 99 times out of 100. Just straight up. It's so consistent, and it's so flipping easy. And it literally takes it, like, if you're currently having if it's currently taking you so long to get to sleep, then it will literally knock 20% off. Guaranteed. Right? This is really good if it takes you a while to get to sleep. If you get to sleep in like 15 minutes, then going to sleep 20% faster isn't that beneficial, right? You kind of get what I mean. Like, it's going to be like what even is the math on that? You might like save 2 minutes a night. It's like it's not even worth it. It's probably take you 2 minutes to put the socks on. But if it takes you like me like an hour to get to sleep, and it's just trash, and you're not really sure what to do, and you just keep rolling around in bed. I use this occasionally. I'm not gonna lie. I don't use this every night. When I'm really struggling to get to sleep, I'll put the socks on, and like if it's been like an hour or two and I can't get to sleep, I'll put the socks on. But most nights I don't put the socks on because I can get to sleep pretty quick now. But if you're in the position I was in, then 100% socks in bed is going to be your best bet, bro. Honestly, it's going to be better than any bedtime advice you'll ever hear. Anyway, that was an incredible adventure, and now whenever I can't fall asleep, I know that I've just got warm socks to come back to, and it's sick, bro. Also, I love the fact that you can progressively overload it, if you know what I mean. Like, you can put one pair of socks in bed, or you could put two, and you could have like one layer over another, or you could put 3 or 4 or 5. You can literally just put as many socks on as you want, and it actually has a bigger benefit. So if you put 2 layers of socks on, you might go to sleep like 30% faster. And if you put like 3 layers of socks on, that might be a bit extreme, but you might go to sleep like 40% faster. And I think it probably caps out around there. But I really like that as well. So if you want to go to sleep even faster, just put more socks on, bro. Anyway, this next one is from a guy named Andrew Huberman. You might know him. It's the fastest way to relieve anxiety. And a lot of the time, if you're worrying before bed and you're anxious and you just can't relax and you're tossing and turning a little bit, or maybe you've got like a lot of thoughts in your head, this is incredible. It's called cyclic sighing, I'm pretty sure. And basically, it's quite simple, right? Like, as I was looking into his podcast, and I watched a 1.5 hour video on stress like a week or two ago, and I watched the entire thing, like no skipping around, just me sat there watching him. And the number one thing I took from that entire podcast was cyclic sighing. So it's very, very simple. Just inhale, and then inhale again, or breathe in and then breathe in again, and then exhale, or breathe out. So a few quick tips. Make sure on your inhales, you fill your lungs as much as you possibly can. Make sure that you breathe in as much as you possibly can, and then you breathe out until you can't breathe out anymore. It's very important. This is a very deep breath to get the maximum effect. So, like, sometimes there'll be like that little bit of oxygen left that you can still breathe out at the end. Just make sure you get as much out. So the reason we do this is like if you want to know, it's like you're releasing carbon dioxide out of your body, and like it's like a whole thing. But that will relieve anxiety before bed, because a lot of people, they have anxiety just before bed, especially sleep anxiety. Like if you're watching these kinds of videos and you're watching a lot of them, you might have sleep anxiety where you're constantly thinking about your sleep, and that can be quite stressful. So that's a little thing you can do as well. I hope that helped you, Paul. My name is Sam. Our name is Seven. Fix your brokenness for your purpose. I can't even. There's no swearing in this video.